All right, welcome to Cop Talk Live, changing cop culture. I'm Dominic Izzo. I'm a former police officer from the northwest suburbs of Chicago, and I do police breakdown videos to show both sides of the interaction with the police and the public. And you know what? I hate cops, but my God, I love the profession. The videos that I do, breakdown-wise, are meant to show in real time. When I never see them before, I watch the videos from a perspective of a retired cop and as a citizen who expects the highest level of standard from our police officers, which we just don't have in America today. So if you're an all cops are bastards kind of guy or a bootlicker, I really don't care. My job is to bridge the gap between the two and do these reviews. Thanks to Greg Triplett for sending this. This is the craziest YouTube video deleted with 4 million views. This is by... Direct D is the YouTube channel. Go ahead and check them out and subscribe to that. Thanks for uploading this on YouTube. I have no idea what this is other than it's a stop, and we're going to watch some police interaction. So I didn't do any research on this. I'm going past the intro. We're going to start at the 1 minute, 41 second mark, and we're going to check this video out together to find out what law enforcement did properly, what we need improvement on, and as far as the citizens go, guys, what you have to know to wind up keeping yourself lawful, legal within an action, stop within your rights to make sure that you go home safe at the end of the night too. It's as simple as that.
Be so kind.
So, Uncle, if you come out and explain to me your passport, I'll hear your side of it.
You've already heard my side. I've already told you my side.
Well, you can explain your passport to me.
I don't need to explain it. You should know this as a LEO, shouldn't you?
I've never seen your passport.
Well, then I don't.
We're coming in this completely out of context. I don't know what the traffic stop was for. I'm not going to assume. I don't know what agency this is. He's asking for a passport. I'm not sure if this is federal. I know nothing about this. So we're going to go into the context of the traffic stop is either going to be for an equipment violation and moving violation. And if you've seen any of my other content, I am not a fan of equipment violation garbage. I mean, unless you're driving down the road on a flat tire, you could be driving perfectly straight, but it could potentially cause an accident. That's the purpose of traffic stops. Except it's been turned into revenue generation, but the purpose of traffic stops has always been to prevent motor vehicle crashes. That's it. There's nothing else. So I've always wondered, okay, I can articulate on a vehicle having a busted out windshield, right? You can't see properly. That's an equipment violation. Something like this with the feathers, yeah, we've all used it. The probable cause to stop you for an obstructed windshield. You know, there's some can argue, you know, I used to pull people over for the pine cones, the air fresheners, and I never got disciplined for it, and the state never said stop doing it. So we used to pull people over for that. That's an equipment violation. But when it comes to things like license plate sticker expired, license plate light out, I never understood that's a state revenue generator. And someone needs to explain to me how, according to the state that you're in, that could cause a motor vehicle accident. So you're going to stop the car, to make sure that, hey, you got your sticker updated. It's a load of BS. It's meant to collect revenue. So when we get to this point, I'm not sure what we have this guy stopped for. We just have a cop on the side of the road. From what I could tell, he's not the initial primary officer. There was another one there. And we're just going off of the conversation at hand.
I don't know what to tell you. We'll sit here all night. But I am not getting out of this private automobile to explain myself that I've already done. I'm asserting my rights to travel, and I'm informing you that you have no jurisdiction or authority over me.
I've never dealt with a sovereign citizen. I think some of the arguments are compelling, but if that's the case, I don't understand why the state and the nation hasn't gone, you know what? Sovereign citizens are right yet. It's above my pay grade, but this sounds like a sovereign citizen. Sound like he gave him his passport in lieu of a driver's license. I'm just guessing. I see yellow, which would be indicative of gold on the nameplate here. I'm assuming this is command staff that has been called to the stop because the initiating cop didn't know how to handle this, and here's where we're at.
And you're not trying to accept it. Ask the guy to pull me over to get it. I'll show it to you. It's real simple. This is real simple. You're making it difficult.
I don't feel that I am.
Well,
I'm the one making it difficult right now.
right, because I won't do what you ask. I don't have to do what you ask. You have zero authority over me. I don't contract with foreign corporations.
The right of a citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile is not a mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Under this constitutional guarantee, one may, therefore, under normal conditions, travel at his inclination along the public highways or in public places, and while conducting himself in an orderly and decent manner, neither interfering with nor disturbing another's rights, he would be protected, not only in his person, but in his safe conduct.
My only argument with this, would be everything is fine up until the line while conducting himself in an orderly or decent manner, neither interfering nor disturbing with another's rights. At some point in history, our honor code system was not the best, meaning that not everybody played by the socially acceptable rules of, hey, as long as I'm riding on my carriage, don't ride up next to me and start throwing, rocks or something and knock me off my seat and then take whatever's in there. So we're going to need a system of rules, right? Do they have like improper overpassing on the right in horse-drawn carriage? The point being is at some point, citizens, as we know how they always are. See, you guys love to do this garbage with the sovereign citizen, I have a right to travel, but you forget your Karens. Your fellow Karens over the centuries have always ruined shit for the rest of us. Meaning some Karen was in a horse-drawn carriage and somebody came along and whistled and catcalled her. She didn't like it. They went too fast. They had 6 horses and drawn compared to her 2. And she said, that's not fair. So she went to whatever magistrate was back in the town and they said, we need to come up with laws. All right. You can only have a maximum of 6 horse-drawn carriages. And you guys have to stay in the outside lane of the dirt road. And then the inside, well, we don't have an outside and inside. Okay, well, then let's widen that out. Do you see what I'm saying? Is shit over the years became a public nuisance to where it was the public who demanded these laws, the public who agreed on them, the public who said not everybody is orderly and maintains a proper level of decorum when we are on the roads traveling together. So you guys, decades ago, centuries ago, are the ones who wanted roadways paved over and then rules put on the road. So it went from a right to travel to a privilege when you got your government involved. When we couldn't behave ourselves on the road. So I'm tired of this sovereign citizen argument of I have a right to travel. Yeah, you know what? In a perfect world, everybody does. But I have no problem obeying speed limits, laws that require me to use a signal to turn or to change lanes to prevent somebody else from getting, in a crash with me. Laws never bothered me driving. So when it comes to the sovereign citizen argument, I hate this crap. And you have to go back to the 1800s and figure out who screwed this up for the rest of us by not playing well with others.
No authority, no jurisdiction. There's nothing in any law.
How's it a contract for you to get out of your vehicle and explain your passport to me?
I don't need to do any of that. I'm trying to explain to you, I don't need to do any of that.
I'm not saying
Go get the passport, bud, and I will read it to you.
I was asking you to do
I am asking you to go get my passport, and I will read it to you. How about that? That makes all kinds of sense, but you ain't ready for that, are you?
We're in a bind then.
Okay, we're in a bind.
I want you to get out and explain it to me.
I'm not getting out of this private automobile. Not happening.
The cop already lost this argument because he doesn't know what he's doing or how to articulate an argument. And we're going to let this play out, but the cop lost here. And I don't know what the legality of the stop was. I don't know what the probable cause of the stop was. But if you're at the point of you have all the probable cause to detain someone on a traffic stop. If my one question too is this: of these sovereign citizens, if you guys are so hell bent on traveling on the road, why do you stop? Why do you pull over? It kind of renders your argument moot too. So you're all about traveling of free wills, but when you see the red and blues behind you, you willfully pull over. Why? You're safely traveling. You don't enter into contracts with foreign corporations and government entities. You don't do that stuff. So if you don't do that, why did you pull over in the first place? So the sovereign citizens, I think, are full of shit on a lot of levels too. When you get to this point as a cop, what he's doing is he's trying to manipulate his way into getting what he wants. And what he wants is now blinded by pride. I want to get this guy into custody. I want to outsmart him. He's throwing a lot of legal jargon at me. I really don't understand it because I never got a pass because I said so. This wasn't on the sergeant's test. If you are confident with your probable cause, and that probable cause could be an arrest. Like some states, you have, X amount of miles over the speed limit. They're going, you can arrest them. You can go from a Class C misdemeanor on a traffic stop all the way up to a Class A for a moving violation. If you are righteous, put them in cuffs. Now, the problem becomes then the use of force that's put into play. We don't know what this stop is. It does not seem, if this guy is as level-headed in explaining what the law is, the driver, I'm going to venture the driver probably wasn't speeding, wasn't doing anything like a moving violations, and it was probably an equipment violation that got him stopped. So when it comes to that, and the cop is now unsure of what he can do, I'm going to ask you, no, order him out of the car. If you have the righteous authority and it's lawful, order him out of the car. You're pleading and you're trying to manipulate and you're trying to do it. You're going to lose. You're going to lose because then you're going to get more frustrated. And the more frustrated you get as a cop, what do? You use too much force. Things get out of hand. So we're at this point, the cop already lost because the cop does not know what they're pleading a case against. The only other thing I could think of is he's stalling for time. That would be it. Maybe it's a tactical situation, and I couldn't picture what you'd have somebody stalling in a vehicle that's running with the keys and they're still operating it for, and you're, not have your pistol drawn. So this, I'm thinking right now, they're both in the wrong on this, and the initial cop who pulled him over should have been more educated and taken the stop all the way through instead of calling his supervisor over. But this is where we're at right now.
Thompson v. Smith. The right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his...
I already talked about this. You guys may have had all those rights, but you know what? Somewhere along the lines, somebody blew it for somebody else and laws were created. If these were all in standing, these would overturn every traffic stop, every violation. Why is it we have hundreds of thousands, you got to be in the millions of traffic stops a year, citations issued, and none of them are ever overturned on this? I know some of you will die on the hill of sovereign citizens, but I'm going to flat out tell you, if it was legitimate, then it would be a standard for everyone in America to do this.
So ask them gentlemen politely, sirs, highway patrolmen, may I please have my passport to read to the sheriff?
They're not going to give it back to you until...
They're not going to give it back to me, so you're telling...
I don't know the chain of authority either. Why is the state police turning this over to the county sheriff? I'm not aware of why this would be the case. If you were the authority of the state... Now, I don't know how it goes when it comes down to if a state, whoever is in charge of the state police, do they have authority above the county sheriff, even in their own county? I'm not aware of that. If you guys are able to put that in the comment section, I would love to see what your answers are. I always was under the impression that, like, when it comes between the county sheriff and the coroner has more authority than the sheriff. This is out of my pay grade. I was a municipal police officer, so we're going above why the state police called a county sheriff over, unless that they just don't want to do the paperwork on this.
Telling me the highway patrol in Wyoming has stole my private property. Is that what you guys are telling me?
You can claim...
No, it's not a claim, sir. That's another matter of fact of law. Does that passport belong to any of you? Does that passport belong to any of you? The answer is no. And if you're not...
Why does a sovereign citizen have a passport? That's government issued. I mean, I'm just asking these kind of questions. If the cop was owned hard, well, why is a sovereign citizen have any paperwork issued to him by the government. Just something to chew on.
Giving that back to me,
Uh-huh.
which is my said possession. What is that called? What's that called? As LEOs, you should know what that's.
Let me know.
That's called
Inform
theft.
me.
Okay?
Why'd you willingly give it over to him? Again, I don't know why this video is so powerful. If you have a self-proclaimed sovereign citizen and he owned a cop, why did you comply in the beginning by being pulled over on a traffic stop? And why did you give him your passport? Why did you have a passport that was government issued to you? Hand it to the cop. Now you're claiming it's stolen because it didn't. Why did you abide by their rules? Why are you waiting? So if you get pulled over by highway patrol in Wyoming and they said, we're going to call the sheriff over, why did you wait? You're a sovereign citizen. I'm sorry. Give me my license or my whatever. The passport is now, and a story. And then, or why did it go, hey, you know, it's government property. Why not just leave? Why did you comply? If you sovereign citizens are, I swear to God, I think most of you sovereign citizens are so just hell-bent on creating content for YouTube to make it sound like you're legal scholars. Why do none of you put your money where your mouth is? Drive off. Dude, drive, go ahead. The cop is in the wrong and you know what you're doing. Why are you arguing with him on the side of the road?
Passport, please, to read to the sheriff.
Okay, the only way you're getting your passport is once you step out of this vehicle.
Why do you want me out of this vehicle so bad, you guys?
Because there is state law, case law, Pennsylvania versus...
Case law is not law. That's where you're wrong again. Case law ain't law.
Okay.
Not even close. What you guys need to do is understand that I am correct. You have no authority over me. None. I don't have to get out of this private automobile.
He's totally winning the argument over them because he knows how to argue. They're not confident in their abilities. They're losing this simply because they're submitting to his tonality and his words, his verbiage. Case law is not law. And they're probably going, whoa. Yeah, they have no idea how to handle this, man.
I don't have to obey your corporate bylaw speed limits?
Okay, let me just explain this to you. You're not leaving here until you step out of the vehicle.
Then I ain't leaving. I am not going anywhere. And your threats don't mean jack.
Pennsylvania versus Mims also has to articulate an officer safety issue. It's like, what do you, his attitude and his tonality, that's not enough. That's not enough to be like, all right, we'll get him out of the car. No, you want to get him out of the car for an investigation. If you're going to get him out of the car, see, don't lie to him. Don't lie to him. That's what they do. It's Pennsylvania versus Mims. Stop explaining shit. If you are so confident in your ability, break the window, rip him out of the car. It's lawful, right? For all the way for an obstructed windshield. That's how ridiculous it is, but it's still the law. We can still do that, right? So if you're 100% confident on it, what are you monkey fucking around on the side of the road just trying to argue with this man to get him out of the car? You're not going to. He's baiting you more and more and more and more. You don't even know what you're arguing against at this point.
To me, bud.
Well, it's not a threat.
To hell if it ain't. You're threatening me to get out of this vehicle so you can try to kidnap me. Meanwhile, you've stolen my property. And he can't even admit that.
It's the property of the United States government, actually, sir.
No, it is not.
Yes, sir.
What is possession?
It is property.
What is possession, sir?
I'm not going to argue with you, sir.
I know you can argue with me because you don't know the law.
Can.
Possession is 9/10 of it, correct?
All I said was...
Huh?
Well, I said, when I stopped you, I didn't say you're getting a ticket. I never said you're getting a ticket. I just want you to step out so we can talk face to face.
We are talking face to face.
There's no reason to. Ask, tell, make. This cop is horrible. If you are so confident, sir, exit the vehicle now. Okay, no, don't tell him I'm about to rip you out of the car. The car's locked. Find a way in. If you, and again, it could be for the stupidest of stuff, right? He drifted over into the lane. What happened? I ashed on my lap with my cigar. Okay, step out of the car, please. The problem is the people don't realize it becomes a battle of wills based on what the cops are lawfully allowed to do, and this is the problem. They have every legal right to remove you forcibly out of the vehicle if they can articulate that you have broken a law that goes to jail. And that law could be all the way, you swerved over into a lane, you're completely sober. They don't smell any odor of alcoholic beverage on their breath. You presented your driver's license, whatever it is. I don't care what the thing is, right? You go up there and they determine that, your license is expired by 6 months. Now, that's a crime because now it's no valid. But you've been driving since you were 16. You're 65. This cop is 22. You've been driving since longer than he was alive, right? And it's like, what's the problem? I didn't notice this. That cop 100% has the lawful ability to arrest you. The cop should go, hey, you didn't even notice this. Go get this updated, man. Have a great day. I appreciate that. Get out of here. See you later. Don't ash on your lap. Get a car ashtray for your cigar. The cop should do that, but we know what's going to happen. It's going to escalate. Sir, step out of the car, please, sir. Now it's a battle of wills. Now the cop isn't thinking right. The cop is going, I got to get that son of a bitch. It's mine. You get tunnel vision. You get blinders on. All you care about is the arrest because he's testing your will. He is 60-something years old. You are 20-something years old. He is not submitting to your authority. And it becomes a pissing contest. And sadly, most always, the public loses because the cops outnumber. Until the public decides they want to rise up and they're tired of this shit. It's very simple. The cops will show up in force. And the backup doesn't know what's going on. They're going to get a call. I need more units. And then 15 people are going to show up and rip a guy out of a car, break his arm, bust his head open, maybe kneel on him until he can't breathe and he dies, or shoot him or something. All for what? Because his driver's license was expired for 6 months and you wanted to get him out of the car. But all the bootlickers will say, and the law will back them up, the cop had the lawful authority to extract the driver who was resisting a peace officer in the performance of his duties. He was resisting a peace officer, and there you go. Now force can be escalated. Force can be. You see how this pebble in the pond can start a tsunami? And the honest change of this is cops to screw their heads on straight and go, is the juice worth the squeeze? If this guy is driving great, and you're in fucking Wyoming. I've driven through Wyoming numerous times. I love it. It's one of my favorite states to drive through. There are times you don't see a car on the road for hours. You drive through a town of 80 people. Is it really worth it? Do you guys have that bad? I know you guys shut down your roads in the wintertime and you don't plow or anything. Do you need revenue that bad? This guy is driving this way and you know how the roads are. Hey, sir, you don't got a license on you? Get the hell off the road, man. Just go where you got to go. I'm not dealing with your sovereign citizen ass. You have a great day. I'll see you later on. It's not worth it. But the law. It's not. I'm sorry. It's a lot of this shit just is not worth it. And here's where where the cops don't know what they're doing. If we're going to commit to this, shut up and do your job and get him out of the car.
Your vehicle? No, I'm not getting out of my private automobile. This ain't a vehicle.
Campbell v. Walker. The owner of an automobile has the same right as the owner of other vehicles.
I'm still going to talk about this. This is what happens when people screw it up for the rest of the people. This was the case.
This year.
I'm going to say this again. If this was the case and you sovereign citizens really believed it, you would not comply to the red and blue flashing lights behind you. You would not hand over your documents. You wouldn't even have documents in the first place. And if you didn't get what you want, you'd put the car in gear and drive off. I can't take you sovereign citizens seriously because you don't believe your own shit. You don't commit to your own cause.
Then nobody in the United States needs a driver license unless they're dealing in.
If this legitimately was a kidnapping, which it is, right, according to your eyes, why are you not using self-defense against your kidnappers? You got armed men coming up to you to kidnap you. Why have you not, done what you needed to do? Sovereign citizens are such ridiculous human beings who do not back up their own shit.
Commerce. Have you all been informed of that?
I missed that one.
Well, of course, because you guys are revenuers for a foreign corporation running under statutes and codes. None of you have ever studied the law.
The United States Consulate Act's judgmentation. This century is his ticket, the character of notions, and code 70 paper difference. Court be the holder.
I'm more interested in seeing the outcome of this and how this cops handle it.
Just admit that you don't have authority over me, hand me my passport, and say I'm sorry for impeding your travel.
What do I need to give you to get you out of your vehicle?
Nothing. You ain't getting me out of this private automobile.
Yeah, you guys lost.
Okay.
Why would I? I haven't committed a crime.
I'm giving you a lawful officer as a peace officer to step out of your vehicle.
You're doing what now?
We'll be right back, okay?
Okay.
Okay. All right, sir, what's your last name?
Barris. B-E-R-R-I-S.
B-E-R-R-I-S.
It's in the-
Why are you giving him your information? You're a sovereign citizen. You don't answer questions. Again, I can't take this guy's side because he is not following through with his own argument against the cops.
passport you stole.
Okay, we didn't steal your passport.
Well, then may I have my passport
You'll get everything back. What I need you to do, okay, so I'm going to tell you. Okay, so you're driving without a driver's license. You're speeding. You don't have plates on your vehicle. Okay, so what
driver's license aspect, take the passport, go back and run him through your computer, MDT or whatever you guys have now. And if his name comes back, yeah, what are you going to drive the license plate not in person? I never had a problem with somebody like, officer, I don't have my license on me. Awesome. What's your name and date of birth? And okay, and nowadays it's like, geez, you just pull up your fucking phone and say, hey, show me your social media so I can look at your picture and see that it's you. But it's like if you have state ID, passport, that was always good enough for me because I'd go back and punch in their number, see that they're valid or clear. This guy sounds like he doesn't have a state driver's license. Okay. And he doesn't have plates in the vehicle. Okay. So if you truly believe in this, in your cause as a cop, then extract him from the vehicle, tow the car, take him to jail. I do not understand what the point is of these officers. Sir, yeah, I'm giving you a lawful order. What do I need to do to get you out of the car? You guys aren't confident in your ability. You this whole ask, tell, make shit doesn't apply. You don't know how to do it. I think this is how cops also have been just abused by command staff. They know that they do this, they're going to end up on YouTube, which they did, and they're going to be the next talk of their departments for either, why didn't you rip them out of the car, or this is what you did. This is a great training for both sides. Sovereign citizens, shut up. Just drive away, do what you're supposed to do with your, traveling shit. Don't comply. And then cops, do what you have to do to enforce the law that you're able to do lawfully. If you don't, go back in your squad car, go take a break, and maybe go read some more Constitution and Fourth Amendment.
What I'm going to do, I need you to get out of the vehicle to chat with us.
No.
Otherwise, I'm going to ask you to get out of the car.
No.
So I'm asking you, will you please get out of the car and speak with us?
No, I will not.
Okay, I'm going to tell you to get out of the car. You need to get out of the car right now.
Why?
You're being recorded. You're
That's
right.
fine.
Okay. And under what authority are you demanding
Why are you? Yes,
an
here you
American
go.
state?
Thank you. Why are you ordering me out of the car? You could. I don't mind. That's fine. You want to? The cop set this tone by going back and forth. The cop has no dominance over him. The cop is not respected at all by this man because the cop can't be taken seriously. So I want to hear. All right, sir, I never liked telling people you're under arrest, especially in a position where they're in control of a motor vehicle. Why would I let you know you're about to go to jail when you could just put the car in gear and take off? So I don't know, step out of the car. I would do it maybe 2 or 3 times maximum until if you can't open the door. I never had to break a window, but there's been ripped plenty of people out of the car. This, I don't know what this cop's going to say.
National to get out of this vehicle when I don't have to prove any kind of, I am not in your corporate bylaws. I don't need driver's licenses.
That's fine. I respect your beliefs, but
it's not a belief, you guys. Okay, this ain't beliefs.
This next time, I'm going to make you get out of the car. What that means, I'm going to break the window, unlock the vehicle, and pull you out. Understand?
Don't do that. Don't do that.
Okay. I'm telling you.
I am telling you, if you do that, this is going to go south quick. Okay?
I don't want it to go south.
Well, don't be breaking into my private property or stealing my private property.
Okay, then help us out, sir.
I've already helped you. I've educated you about the law, but you're not listening. Okay. You're not
Now, for those two, because I'll talk out of both sides of my mouth on this for a second. For those who are always talking about the citizens just comply, you didn't give them a lawful reason. The cop did. If the cop is going to take his time to explain, this is why I'm ordering you out of the car. You're driving without a valid driver's license. That is a crime in the state of Wyoming. Exit the vehicle, sir. That's it. I mean, you've done your job. The cop didn't tell him yet. So he just said, here's your passport, no plates in the vehicle, no driver's license. Well, say it. If the guy asks and you've already allowed this dialogue to go, hey, sir, you're driving without a driver's license in the state of Wisconsin or Wyoming. It's unlawful. You don't have a license anywhere. You could drive with an Illinois state driver's license in any other state. You could drive in a Wyoming with any other state. You can, but this guy doesn't have a license. That being said, who escalated this? Perception-wise, I say the cop did. This guy is now getting defensive. He has told you his stance. He's not getting out of the car. He wants his property back. He's not complying. And then you say, I'm going to break your window and remove you. You're threatening him. Yeah, the cop is escalating this. Shut up and do your job, man. Don't plead with him. This guy's state of mind is you're the enemy. Now you're purposely telling him that in his mind, you're purposely going to damage his property and kidnap him. What do you think is going to happen for somebody like this?
Accepting the facts, okay? Now I'm going to ask you one more time. I would like my passport back. I would like to get on my way. I have critters with water freezing. I really don't have time for this.
Okay, sir. I'm telling you, if we have to, we will break the window, unlock the vehicle, and pull you out.
Do it already.
Do you want it to get to that, or do you want to come out and talk to us?
Okay, so you're threatening to break my private property.
I'm telling you that I have
do you know
authority
under the
to take
law
you out of this vehicle if you do not.
If you read this as a transcript only with no hearing the dialogue or any of the inflection of the voice or the emotion, you're going to side with the citizen because with the cop, he didn't tell him. He just wants to come out what do you want me to come out to the road and side of the road and talk to you for? Well, we know what he means. We're going to put you in handcuffs when we come out here. But he's not saying that. So as a citizen, if I have another citizen tell me, if you don't come out and talk to me, I'm going to break your window and remove you of the car. That's a threat, man. That's a threat. These cops are failing in their delivery. Have confidence when you deal with these people. Don't argue with them. Sir, step out of the vehicle. You have no driver's license in any state whatsoever, and you're driving on a state road. That's a crime. Exit the vehicle. No? Then open the car. Break the window, unlock it, and go to work. It's very simple. But you just told him to step out and talk to you. Why? You didn't give him a reason. We don't have to give him a reason. You see how this is going tit for tat? The cops aren't getting owned because the sovereign citizen, as far as I'm concerned, is just as half-assed with his argument. But the cops are just afraid to do their damn job.
Comply with our orders.
I don't have to comply with your orders.
Yes, you do.
No, I do not.
Yes, sir.
I do not.
He didn't.
Okay.
He didn't give him an order either.
We're going to have a gunfight on the side of the road is what we're going to have.
We do not need to have a gunfight.
Well,
on the side of the road.
you better start listening to sense.
You need to start listening.
No, sir. I do not need to listen to an agent of...
Yeah, right there's a problem.
To break my...
He didn't give him an order. I would like you to exit the vehicle to come talk to me. That's not an order. So there's a problem we have there. Give an order. But then this escalates because you didn't know how to handle this person. You let him take control of the stop. And when he threatens you for a gunfight, yeah. Now, when it turns into a gunfight, everybody's going to side with law enforcement because we always do, right? But did law enforcement escalate this? I don't care so much about the cop being owned on law or what they know or that they don't know at this point because it's clearly they're not confident in their own ability. I'm really having an issue with the fact that they could not de-escalate this scene by just doing their job decisively. Decisively is the problem. Guy says you're going to get into a gunfight. My pistol's drawn. I have the lawful authority to stop you. You do not have a driver's license in any state whatsoever. You have no registration on this vehicle. As much as the public doesn't like this, those are crimes. Force can be used to take you into custody. You are willfully and unlawfully resisting. Now you just threatened a peace officer in a gunfight. My pistol is being drawn. And it's aimed right at your head. And if you're not getting out of the car, we're going to have a problem. It's going to be a standoff, and we're going to do what we have to do. These cops escalated this by not being decisive in their action.
My private property.
I'm telling you that
And
I have
do you know
authority
under the
to take
law-
you out of this vehicle if you do not comply with our orders.
I don't have to comply with your orders.
Yes, you do. In
No,
this
I do
situation,
not.
you do. Yes, sir.
I do not.
Okay, so what are we going to do here?
We're going to have a gunfight on the side of the road is what we're going to have.
We do not need to have a gun.
Well,
on the
then
side of the road.
you better start listening to sense.
You need to start
Yeah.
listening.
No, sir. I do not need to
100%.
listen to
He starts shitting his pants.
corporation.
Okay.
You see him
Okay?
back off.
I asked you guys to go back there and call somebody in town that actually knows the law.
Who's this person in town that knows the law?
Apparently, somebody. I would try with John Harlan as the sheriff and
John Harlan. Okay.
ask him.
Okay, well, we have a representative of the sheriff's office right here. And he was talking to you.
I know, but that don't mean he knows the actual law.
Look, I'm not trying to get anybody riled up, and I apologize for doing that. What I'm trying to do is find an ending to this.
You guys just got threatened with somebody who to get in a gunfight, and your tactics didn't change. You guys suck as cops, just to let you know. You're this one and then the other one talking are both within the line of sight of this guy just to produce a pistol and start blasting. And this is how you continue the conversation. In my opinion, at this point, if you lawfully have the reason or the authority to remove him from the car and he tells you we're going to get into a gunfight, go to a felony stop. You need to get back and just start barking commands, pistol drawn on him. He told you what he's going to do. It's not like he said, I'm armed. I'm armed. Just to let you know, I'm armed. Okay. He said, we're going to get into a gunfight. He expressed his intent, and so many people want to bring up the intent of crimes. This is the intent. You guys should have backed off, gone to a felony stop. You cops, by not doing your job decisively, got it to get to this subject, this point with the subject.
That's civil for both of us.
Here's the simple ending. You guys admit that you have no authority over me.
We can't do that, sir.
Well, I'm sorry you can't do that.
Okay. Well,
But I am not going to allow you to violate my rights to travel. I will not allow you to damage my private property.
Okay.
I'm telling you right now.
I don't want to damage your private property. That's what I'm saying.
Right.
I don't want to at all.
Okay.
All I want you to do is get out of the vehicle so we can...
Keep in mind, liability is the only reason that these guys are not allowed to leave. And what I mean by that is they stopped him. They know he doesn't have a driver's license. They know he doesn't have probably insurance on the vehicle, or it's registered to the state or any state, right? What is wrong? He's sober. What's wrong with letting him drive home? Well, the problem is if you release him from the stop and he goes and he kills a family of 5, well, then everyone is getting sued because you knew you had a lawful authority to get him off the road. For what? For what? Because he wasn't certified by the state with their license, by the state with a driver's license that says he knew the rules of the road and passed the test and blah, blah, blah. It's all liability. That's the only reason somebody can't say, listen, you're driving a straight line. Take those fucking feathers down, man, because that's just an equipment violation. Go home. That's how the stop should have ended. You don't smell drunk. You're not slurring. I don't see any movement of you just wavering in your seat. You look good. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Go home, man. Get your sovereign citizen ass off the road. But now this is every traffic stop in America. Doesn't matter if they're a licensed driver or not. It's the battle of wills. Battle of wills. Pissing contest.
Talk. That's it. That is it. And I won't damage your private property. Nothing. That's
Not
it.
happening.
Okay.
I don't have to get out of this vehicle.
Okay, so why are we coming to this? Why are we butting heads there? Why don't you want
Because you guys are not listening to the matter of fact of law. That's why.
to the matter of fact of law?
It's called the matter of fact of law.
Okay.
The fact of that matter is you have zero authority over me. Where
Why
I'm
are
gonna
you still
travel,
there?
How I'm going to do it, what I'm going to
Leave then. Why are you still there?
said private automobile.
Fuck your property. Let them have the passport. Just go home.
1 second, okay?
Oh, I hate this sovereign citizen as much as I hate these stupid cops.
This ain't going to...
Why are you threatening to get in a gunfight, Frank?
Because
Oh,
I'm not going to
God.
allow them to violate my... Dude, I am not allowing them to violate my right to travel freely and damage my private property because I won't listen to a so-called...
I'm thinking they actually know this guy. They've had interactions with him before. That's why they're so casual about his words.
So if I got if we got somebody on the phone, you'd talk to somebody?
There ain't nothing to talk about.
Yeah, that's kind of what I figured. So.
You wouldn't want to talk to anybody?
There's nobody to talk to about anything. What is there to talk to? You guys not admitting that you have no authority over me? Is that what it is?
You said you wanted to talk to Sheriff Harlan.
I don't want to talk to Sheriff. I've already talked to him. I've talked to all your judges, your state's attorneys. State's attorneys know. I sent them cease and desist. Shit disappeared. Why? Because I know the law.
Okay.
This is absolutely ludicrous. This is supposed to be America? Where's my right to travel freely, you guys?
Well,
Where's that at right
we'll make
now?
some phone calls and see what we can do here, okay?
Well, common sense should prevail. And
How about this? Hey, Rick, or whatever your name is, I'm going to call the sheriff. I'm going to take this all the way up there. If he says he can let you go, I'm letting you go. This is beyond my pay grade. I know I don't know the law in compared to what you are. Get me on camera admitting that. I appreciate that. So I'm going to ask my supervisor, but I'm going to tell you flat out, if they tell me I got to arrest you, I'm asking you, step out of the car, go to handcuffs. This way we won't damage your property. Sue them, sue everybody else, but take the fucking onus off me. Pass the buck, guys. That's what you got brass for. Just start doing that. Send it up the pipeline.
I'm on the sheriff's department for that.
Okay. You know,
This is these cops
Now
didn't
we're
get
all back
owned.
there having a powwow.
We're gonna go forward a bit.
Roll patrolman. Yes.
Here's your passport.
Oh, so I guess it was because if you remove it.
Yes, sir. Can't do for you.
No, he's
All right, sir. Here's your passport back. Can you roll it down a little bit further? You just want me to slide it in there?
Just slide her in here.
Okay. So this is back. Did you already pull those out? Okay. Free to go for now. Okay.
What'd you do to my car?
We didn't do anything to your car.
Okay, I got it on film here.
Okay.
There's nothing sabotaged on my private vehicle.
There's nothing sabotaged on your vehicle.
All right. So you guys have a nice day.
Okay. We'll see you around.
Yeah, if 10th Amendment of the states' rights, the powers not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by to the states, are reserved for the states respectively or to the people. Yeah, 10th Amendment is states' rights. I don't think the cops were owned on that. I think the cops were, this guy was a regular. They knew him very well. And they got, what are they going to do? You know, put their job is what they should have done. And maybe they have pulled him out of the car several times before or whatnot. I don't see this as owned. I see this as bad tactics by the cops. I don't care if they knew this guy, 7 ways from Sunday. When he winds up saying we're going to get into a gunfight, that's a problem as far as I'm concerned. But then again, too, like I said, did they escalate it? But hey, we're going to break. If you know that he's so fragile, why are you telling him you're going to break his window? You're going to aggravate him. The tactics were poor by the cops. Clearly, they're walking away licking their wounds because command staff told them, hey, just let him go, dude. Go get a warrant for him. Something else, whatever the case is, which you can. If you can identify, if you know this person, it's Rick. We told them 100 times. And Rick is going to go home, going to go feed his dogs and his hens and his chickens and all that stuff because he's got the critters at home. Go get a warrant. As a police officer, which is easier for you to articulate in this moment? And it's case by case, it's scenario by scenario. If you've never dealt with Rick before, then I could sit there and say, no, get him out of the car, rip him out, end of story, period. If he's a regular, it's a town of 1,000 people. You know where he's going to be Tuesday morning at the diner having his coffee. You know his routine. Then maybe go get a warrant. So when your sergeant says, why didn't you remove him from the vehicle and tow him? Sarge, he threatened us to get in a gunfight, and rather The tactic that I chose to use was to release him from the scene, observe him driving home. I veered off. I came back, typed up the report to get a warrant. We'll go get him later. Now, we know what that could lead to. That's going to lead to some homestead standoff between Rick with all his AR-15s and then the cops, and then you're going to have another Bundy Ranch scenario. This shit just happens because cops are too afraid to do their job because they don't know it. They don't know it. And you sovereign citizens, the only reason that this sovereign citizen stuff goes as far as it does is because none of you commit to your cause. Rick should not have stopped. Rick lost his argument the second that he complied with those red and blue lights. You're going to get kidnapped. You just did. You just willingly pulled over to the side of the road saying you have authority over me. You don't have authority over me. I would have said, then why are you still here? Yeah, hey, Rick, step out of the car. You don't have authority over me? Well, dude, what the fuck are you still here for? Why'd you pull over? If you don't comply to any government stuff, why do you have a passport? So again, these sovereign citizens are full of shit and they don't believe their own garbage. So as a cop, ask, tell, make, know the law, know what you're doing, know that if you're going to enforce these ridiculous laws that the government makes you enforce, like equipment violations, then fucking do it. Do it all the way through until I think every single equipment violation should be cited and somebody should go to court. So the people would sit there and all get together and go to their congressmen and go to their senators, go to their mayors, go, why are we still getting pulled over for feathers hanging from our rearview mirror? Oh, well, you're right. We need to take that out of the books. No longer obstructed windshield. Go look at your vehicle code. If you are in your state, go pull your vehicle code and start reading every equipment violation, moving violation. They are written so that there's not one thing. You can't back out of your driveway without a cop being able to use the verbiage in there to fit the narrative to articulate why they could stop you in the first place. And you allow it. You allow it. We're all free to travel. No. Everybody agreed upon it a couple hundred years ago and said, yeah, let's create something so that we can, we don't want to travel. We need to have rules on the road. That's this. Greg, I appreciate you sending me this. I don't think the cop got owned. I think the cop doesn't know what the hell he's doing and not confident in their ability. And I think they have command staff that told them what to do. And Rick is not confident in what he believes in. He's a sovereign citizen who doesn't believe his own bullshit. But for this day, he won, so he went home and he celebrated by cracking a Miller High Life and feeding his critters. That's that, guys. Don't forget to join us every Wednesday night live, 9 p.m. Eastern. I take your calls. We talk about these things, and we try to change cop culture together. Go check out coptalklive.org, and I'll see you guys on the next video.